Hello, hi, welcome to part 2 of IR35. Today I'll be discussing how the scheme affects contractors and how to challenge clients' assessments. Let's get right into it. As I said previously, I will concentrate more on what it means to be inside and outside IR35 and how the assessment works, and also really the impact it has on contractors and the processes involved in challenging clients' assessment. So now going into details of the scheme, there have been some changes since April 2021, and some of these changes are that now the responsibility sits with the client to decide the limited companies or the contractors IR35 status, which is again bad news for contractors, because now the client will have to decide whether you fall into it, whether you fall inside IR35 or not. In other words, determining whether you are still deemed as independent, self-employed, or possibly operating as disguised employee, as I previously mentioned in part 1. If the business falls inside IR35, the client is responsible for deducting tax and national insurance contributions at normal employee rate. If the client fails to decide and HMRC gets involved, the client would be deemed liable to the personal service company, which is the limited company's taxes and national insurance on all payment made year to date. And I must say, I think this is the biggest issue that most contractors or limited service, personal service companies are facing, purely because the clients are now pushing them inside IR35 to prevent them from any future taxes or national insurance liabilities, or possibly any fines. HMRC, I must say, HMRC are very much happy with that, because they are able to generate more revenue and therefore contractors lose more money in their pocket. Now, to explain how the assessment in itself works, I want to mention that clients take up a variety of factors before deciding whether a personal service company or the contractor in itself is inside or outside IR35. And also important to mention that the assessment is done on a contract by contract basis. There are a variety, as I said, of factors, and some of these factors include supervision. The question you've got to ask here is, are you supervised whilst carrying out the responsibility of your role? That's quite self-explanatory. And also direction. Are you able to work of your own accord, or you are being provided direction as to how to work? That is something that really needs to be considered. Control has been on debate for quite some time, purely because it is looking at how flexible and what type of freedom that you may have whilst working for that client. So here, are you given the freedom to carry out your duties how you see fit, or you take guidance from a senior member of staff? Substitution and obligation also is very, very important here. Can you easily be replaced regarding your role, or possibly the client has got obligation to provide you with work all the time? Can you find a replacement for your role without the client getting involved? Financial risks here, measuring what is simply saying is that, do you carry out your own insurance or your own financial risk over revenue? Are you protected by your own insurance, or you're protected by the client's employer's liability or professional liability or possibly public liability? Are you covered by any of these, or you're not covered by that? And if you're not covered by that, then that will push you outside of IR35. Now, integration and employee benefits, this is something that is mostly very, very difficult to run away from, because you may find out that you are provided with equipment, you are using the client's branding, you are wearing their uniforms, and also possibly you are also engaging on holidays and etc. This puts you inside IR35. However, if you are providing your own equipment, you have control over how you work and when you work. Therefore, that makes you purely a genuine self-employed, and therefore falls outside of IR35. Now, the question is, how does this affect contractors? It's uncommon for contractors to operate through a limited company company when government guidelines would deem them inside of IR35. Literally, it's so uncommon to see that you are operating outside IR35, but when there is an inspection from HMRC, they see you inside IR35. Also, if you're operating inside of IR35, you will result in a loss of revenue. The limited company benefits are lost. Also, your tax and NI contributions will be made on a weekly or monthly basis. What that literally means that you lose that 13.8% benefit you are getting through that dividend scheme or tax rule from that perspective. Many contractors choose to operate via an umbrella company purely because administrative cost and burden of the limited company are lowered while still being viewed as an employee in the eyes of HMRC. A very, very important point to mention here is that contractors can renegotiate fee with their clients purely because they fall inside IR35. The idea here is that you are losing money in your pocket, and therefore most businesses that really want to keep you on would consider renegotiating your fees to be able to bring you up to where you were before. Contractors can also check their own employment status with HMRC by simply going to HMRC's website or portal and searching for check employment status for tax, and then that you can follow the system from there. Also, I want to mention, following recent debates and discussions on IR35, the government are saying there will be soft landing for the next 12 months. Again, what soft landing means is up to HMRC's perspective to define. Now, the other question also is, how do you challenge client assessment? And the answer is yes or no. Can you challenge that? Yes or no. But first of all, you can't challenge a client's determination using the client-led disagreement process, and this process includes the ability to request what we call the status determination statement, which indicates reasons for the decision. Also, I want to mention clearly here that you should request a full review by your accountant, including your latest contract. Eaac Ltd. Again, we are here to provide our services. If any consultant needs us, our details are in the description below. Alternatively, you can run your own details through the HMRC portal, which will then hope that you can get the different results from what your client gave. However, the reason why I said no is because the onus still sits with the employer, or in here, the client, who's got a final decision to decide whether you sit outside or inside of IR35. The client has got 45 days to respond to your appeal. And again, here there is no further guidance yet on a formal process going forward. Thank you for watching part 2. I hope you find this video very useful. And please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.